Alright class, so last time we did density. So far we've done significant figure, we've done unit conversion, and then we did density. Now I was thinking it's a good idea to do a warm-up problem before I talk about the next topic. So here's a warm-up problem. I'm going to pause my video, do this problem, and then we're going to go over this problem together. Okay, so when you read this problem, the first thing that you say, you're gonna go, oh, this is a density problem. Okay, so if I have a density problem, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write down the formula, which is density is mass over volume. You should do that every time. As soon as you have a density problem, you're gonna go, oh, density problem is mass over volume. Beautiful. Okay, now when you read this question, what is the question asking you for? Figure it out right away what the question is asking for. The question is asking for density. So I know density over here, this is what I'm trying to figure out. This is my unknown, okay? So if you're trying to figure out density, that means the mass and the volume is somehow given to you, right? You cannot have two variables, okay? And the other piece of information you have to put down right away is that the unit for density they ask you for is gram per ml. That's the unit of density they ask you for. So far, so good? Okay, so let's do this. Now, the gram, the mass is given to you, which is 98.4. Perfect. And the unit is okay, is gram. So the mass is given to us, that is 98.4, and is gram is the unit that I want because this is the unit that they ask you for. This is the unit they ask you for, grams per ml. Okay, so I'm okay with the mass. The mass is okay. Now I need the volume to divide and get the density. The volume is not directly given to you, but they give you the dimension. If they give you the dimension, can you figure out the volume? Yes, you can. So what I have a dimension is 10.0 centimeter times 4.1 centimeter times 2.0 centimeter. So I'm multiplying width by length by the height, I can figure out the volume. Now centimeter times centimeter times centimeter. Okay, now if you do that, so plug into your calculator, and just remember, we always have to care about significant figure also. So if I do that, what I end up getting 82 centimeter cubed. Why is it centimeter cubed? Because I have centimeter times centimeter times centimeter, so I end up having this centimeter cube. Okay, so this is great. I figured out the mass, and I like that. Now also remember, how many sig fig is this one right here? I have 3 sig fig, 2 sig fig, 2 sig fig. Multiplication, I have to go with the smallest amount of sig fig. Okay, I can just have that. But we're not going to worry about sig fig until the very end. Here's the problem. What I have here, I have 82 centimeter cubed. But what does the question ask me for? What does the question ask me for? For milliliters. So to what they want grams per milliliters, but this is centimeter cubed. If you remember, last time I said centimeter cubed and millimeters are two very common units for volume. And if you remember, I said 1 centimeter cubed equals 1 ml. I need you to remember that 1 centimeter cubed is equal 1 ml. Okay, so what does that mean? That means right here, if I have 82 centimeter cube, is the same thing as 82 ml. That's perfect. So I can just plug it back in here. So I have 98.4 divided by 82. When I get that, what I end up getting is 1.2 grams per ml. And again, I'm limited to 2 sig fig, right? Because I have to go with the lowest sum of significant figures. I'm limited to 2 sig fig. This is 2 sig fig, and don't forget the unit, and that would be my final answer. So far, so good? Okay, just pay attention to unit, write down the equation every time, and then go from there. All right, that was a good practice problem. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Now, let's finish up this chapter with conversion and sig fig and all that. Now, so far, everything we've done simple conversion. I give you centimeter, you convert it to meter. I give you inches, I ask you to convert it to meters. I give you feet, and I ask you to convert it to inches. Simple conversion. Now we're going to go a little bit more complex conversion. We're going to go conversion that you have more than just one number and then one unit. They call it up. So what we're going to do, we're going to do unit conversion with derived unit. Again, I'll show you what that means. That means it's just like is basically not just one unit being converted. We have two or more units that are being converted at the same time, and we'll talk about it in 1 second. All right. Now here is our practice problem. We're just gonna keep doing practice problem to get used to this. Here's my first practice problem. Remember, density is mass over volume. Density is mass over volume. Don't forget that. Density is mass over volume. What I have 13.9 pounds over cubic feet. And I want to convert it to ounces per inches cubed. So this is what we mean by derived unit. It's not just one unit I'm converting, but it's two or more units I'm converting. It's not just like pounds to ounces, it's pound to ounces and feet to inches I'm doing. So it's a little bit more complex, but we got this down. All right, the same as before. I want to write down what's given to me, which is 13.9 pounds, that's the mass unit, over cubic feet, which is a volume unit, right? This is a density, this is a mass unit, this is a volume unit, mass unit over the volume unit, okay? And I want to convert it to this. Then what we talked about, we said if you learn nothing from my class, learn to cancel out. I don't understand physics, I don't like physics, I mean, I shouldn't say that since this is recorded, but I can do any physics problem because I can cancel out. So learn to cancel out. All right. I do not want feet. I do not want feet. Correct. I do not want pound also. Do you agree? I don't want pound. Where is the pound going to go? The pound is going to go down here so they can be canceled out, right? On the opposite side, you can cancel out. Now, what do you want? You don't want pound. You want ounces. Okay. Now, you have that conversion sheet that I gave you. Take out that conversion sheet. So here is the table if you don't have it in front of you. So how do I go from ounces to pounds? How do I go from ounces to pound? 1 pound is 16 ounces. I will give this so you can have this in front of you for the exam. 1 pound is 16 ounces. That's perfect. I cancel out pounds and I end up with ounces, which is ounces is what I want. Now I do not want feet. I want inches, okay? Where is feet gonna go? It's gonna go on top. There isn't gonna I can cancel out. And the inches go on the bottom, okay? Now look at over here again. What is the conversion between feet and inches? What is the conversion between the feet and inches, okay? Now, if you look at the conversion, 12 inches is 1 foot. 12 inches is 1 foot. Okay, we're good so far. 12 inches is 1 foot. Alright, now here's the problem. I am not trying to cancel out feet. What am I trying to cancel out? Cubic feet. Not feet. Cubic feet is what I'm trying to cancel out. Now, I cannot just put a cube over here. I can't do that The reason that I cannot do that is because feet and inches over here, do they have cube? They're not cubed here. So if they're not cubed and this conversion between 1 to 12, so I can't just put cube here and expect this number to be right. But the only thing that I could do is to cube the entire parentheses. The only thing that I could do is cube the entire parentheses. But you have to pay attention. If you do that, that means the feet gets cubed, the 1 gets cubed, the inches gets cubed, and also the 12 gets cubed. Everything is going to get cubed. Okay, so if that's the case, then the feet is going to get cubed. Then I can cancel the feet out, and I end up with inches, and I end up with inches cubed, which is what I want. Okay, so my unit ends up being ounces over inches cubed. Now, for the math part, again, you're going to multiply everything on top, divide by the bottom. 13.9 times 16 times 1 divided by 1 divided by 12. If you do that, what you end up getting is 0.1287. Now we have to care about significant figures. You knew that was coming, right? How many sig fig is this number over here? This number over here has 3 sig fig. Doesn't count in sig fig because it's an exact number. Doesn't count. Conversions do not affect significant figure. Conversion, they do not affect significant figure because you didn't measure this. It's just a conversion factor. This is what we measure. This is 3 sig fig. My final answer should have 3 sig fig. So I need to round this to reflect that. I have a 7 there, so it would be, oh, stop doing that, 0.129. Don't forget the unit. Ounces per inches cubed is my final answer. Don't forget the unit. Don't forget the significant figure. I'm on only 3 sig fig. This is 7, so I'm going to round up. So far, so good. Okay. Now, let's do another practice problem. Let's do another practice problem like this. Here is our number 2. You ready? I'm going to give you another density unit. 100.00 pounds over cubic feet. And this time what I want you to do, I want you to convert it to grams per centimeter cubed. Again, density is mass over volume. Pound is a mass unit. Cubic feet is a volume unit. But I want to convert it to a different unit for mass and volume. Okay? Alright, let's do this one together. You are going to do what we did before. You are going to write down what is given to you, which is 100.00 pounds over cubic feet. Okay? Now, I do not want pounds. What do I want? Tell me, even though I can't hear you, but tell me anyway. I don't want pound. What do I want? I want gram. So where does pound go? Pound goes here and grams goes over there. So I can cancel out pounds and get gram. That is what I want. Look over here. Do I have a conversion between pound and gram? I sure do. It's right here. 1 pound is 454 grams. Okay. Now, feet. I don't want it. What do I want? I want centimeter. So feet is not what I want. What I want is centimeter. Okay. Now here's the thing. If I look over here, let's look at the metric to US. Is there a conversion here between feet and centimeter? There isn't. I don't have one between feet and centimeter. So what do I need to do? So on this table, I do not give you a direct conversion. I do not give you a direct conversion between feet and centimeter. I do not give you a direct conversion between feet and centimeter. So I need to be a little bit fancier, okay? I'm going to come over here. There is no direct conversion between feet and centimeter, but what could I do? There is a conversion between centimeter and inches. So what I could do, I could convert feet to inches and then inches to centimeter. You guys are following me? I'm going to go over this one more time. So it would be great if I could just convert feet to centimeter, which is what I want. But I cannot do that because when I look it over here, there is no direct conversion I've given you between feet and centimeter. But what I could do, I could go feet to inches and then inches to centimeter. I can go feet to inches and then inches to centimeter. So far so good. Okay, so we have to take a little bit longer way to do this. So let's do this. So feet to inches and then we go inches to centimeter. So far so good. If you look at the table, what is the conversion between feet and inches? 12 inches is 1 foot. 12 inches is 1 foot. Now here's the problem. I'm not trying to cancel out feet. I'm trying to cancel out cubic feet. We talked about it. You can't just put a 3 and 3 here. It doesn't work out. The only thing you can do, if you can cube the entire parentheses. In that case, then feet is going to be cubed, inches is going to be cubed, then they can be canceled out. So now I'm going to be able to cancel out cubic feet over here, and I have inches. Remember what we said? Inches is not what we want. That was just a way for us to be able to get to centimeter. I do not want inches. It's going to go on top because again, they have to be on the opposite side to cancel out. What I want here, I want centimeter. Okay? So then the inches cancel out. I can end up with centimeter. The same thing as before. Right now, this is cubic inch. So I'm trying to cancel out cubic inch and get to cubic centimeter. The only thing I can do is to put a 3 over the entire thing. Alright, let's come back here. What is the conversion between inches and centimeter? 1 inch is 2.54 centimeter. Okay. Now, what that means is cubic inch is going to cancel out. I'm going to end up with centimeter cube, which is what I want. So all that unit cancel out, I end up with grams over cubic centimeter, which is what I want. Beautiful. Okay, hopefully you follow that. These are hard problems. I'm doing a harder problem in class. Now, the last thing to do is the math, and I need to make sure you guys are getting the algebra right. Remember, we said we multiply everything on top, divide by the bottom. But let's do this together. So 100 times 454. This is just 1. Doesn't make it 1 to the power of 3 is just 1. Times 1. Doesn't make a difference. Divided by 1. Doesn't make a difference. So you have to do 100 times 454 divided by is not just 12. Is 12 that you cube it. So the other way to do it, 100 times 454 divided by 12, divided by 12, divided by 12. You have to divide by 12 3 times because remember, when you cube the whole thing, everything got cubed. The same thing here. Divided by 2.5 to the power of 3. So you would do 100, the very old school way would be 100 times 454 divided by 12, divided by 12, divided by 12, divided by 2.54, divided by 2.54, divided by 2.54. Or you can cube them. Okay? So make sure you get this right. Now, my final answer should have how many significant figure? Exact number, exact number, exact number doesn't count. How many sig fig do I have here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My sig fig is 5. Again, these are conversion. They don't have any sig fig. They're not going to affect that. So my final answer is this. And I would need you to get it at 1.6033 gram per centimeter cube. Make sure this is the answer that you get with your calculator. That's really, really key. All right. Ready for next problem? Okay. Next one. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to do a big problem to bring everything home. Here's our next problem. I have 19.32 grams per ml density. I want to convert it to kilograms per meters cubed. All right, pause me, do this on your own, and then check your answer with me. So grams per ml is what I have. Let's cancel out together. Do you want gram? You do not. Where does it go? Down here. What do you want? You want kilograms. It's going to go on top. I need to convert grams to kilograms. These are the metric conversion, right? Yeah, these are metric conversion. Which one is a larger unit, kilograms or gram? Hopefully you're yelling at me, duh, kilograms is a larger unit. So I'm going to put a 1 next to kilogram. Okay, so far so good. Now look at the conversion sheet for metric. 1 kilogram is how many grams? 1 kilograms is 1,000 grams. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. So then the grams can cancel out. I have kilograms. Again, put a 1 next to a larger unit, and the other one is usually a huge number with a lot of zeros. Beautiful. Okay. Now, I have millimeters now, and I don't want millimeters. I want meters cubed. This question is a little hard. I would never give you this hard on an exam, but it's good to do it to make sure you get on the same page. So I don't want millimeters. I want meters cubed. There is really no conversion to go from millimeters to meters cubed, is there? But there is one thing that you know that I ask you to remember it. And the one thing that you know and I ask you to remember it was that, if you remember, we said 1 millimeters equals 1 centimeter cube. This you know. Do you agree? Okay. So how about this idea? I can convert millimeters to centimeters cube, and then I can convert centimeters to meters cube. That we know based on the metric system. Let's do that. So millimeters goes on top and centimeter goes down here, because we know that 1 millimeters would be equal 1 centimeter cube, right? That's a direct conversion. So millimeters is going to cancel out. I end up with centimeter cube. This is a direct conversion. I can put the 3 over here, and that's okay, because this is the conversion. I'm gonna mention this again. Before, we could never put the 3's here because that wasn't the conversion. The 3's are not part of the conversion. But here, I can put the 3 over here because this is part of the conversion. The 3 is part of the conversion. Before, none of these had cube, did they? None of them had cube. So I had to put it for the entire thing. But here, this one has cube. The whole conversion factor has cube. So I can put a 3 over there. All right, hopefully this is making sense. Now, I don't want centimeter cube. What do I want? I want meters cube. So centimeter is going to go on top. Meters is going to go here. Okay? Again, meters to centimeter. Look at your conversion sheet for metric. Which one is a larger unit? Meter. 1 meter is 100 centimeter. But if you look at the metric conversion chart that I've given you, none of those values are cubed. So I cannot just put a cube over here. Versus here, the cube was part of the conversion. So the only thing I can do is I can cube the entire thing. So far so good. So then centimeter is going to be cubed. So I can cancel out the centimeter cube. And a meters is also going to be cubed. Because remember, it just gets to everything, right? Everything is going to be cubed. So what I end up with is kilograms over meters cube. Cubic meters, which is what I want. All right, calculator. What are we going to do? 19.3 times 1 times 1 times 100 to the power of 3. Basically, you times it by 100 3 times. Divided by 1,000. Okay? Now, before you tell me, how many sig, let's look at sig fig. How many sig fig is over here? This is 4 sig fig. Do you agree? this do not count in sig fig, my final answer should have 4 sig fig. Okay, now I want you to do this. Look at the calculator. You go 19.32, right? You have to times it by 100, times it by 100, times it by 100, and you divide it by 1000. And what you need is 4 sig fig at the end. So what you end up getting is 19320 kilograms per cubic meter. Hard problem, hard problem. Nothing you would expect on the exam this hard, but I just want to make sure you get this down and you understand it. Let's do the harder problems in class, right? All right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to do a big practice problem to bring everything home. This practice problem has everything we've talked about so far. It has density, conversion, it has sig fig, everything. Okay, pause me, do this practice problem, and then unpause me, and then let's do this together. Now, you see density, right? You go, okay, I know density. Density is mass over volume. You should do that every time. You go, yes, I know density. Density is mass over volume. And then you go, okay, I also know the unit of density they gave me is grams over centimeter cube. That's what they gave me. Beautiful. Now in this question, what did they ask you for? What they ask you for is the mass. So I don't have the mass. That's my x. That's what I'm trying to figure out. If the mass is given to you, that means the density, that means the density and the volume must be given. You cannot have two variables. Okay? You cannot have two variables. Well, the mass, so you're trying to figure out the mass. So the density is given. That one is very obvious. Now the volume is not as obvious. I don't give you the volume. But what do I give you? I give you the dimension. If I give you the dimension, could you figure out the volume? Yes, you can. Okay, let's go and do this together. So the dimension are 6.0 inches by 4.0 inches by 2.0 inches. Okay, if I do this, what I get 48, what's the unit? Inches times inches times inches would be inches cubed. Beautiful. Here is my volume. Here's my volume. Here's a problem. I cannot take this volume and plug it in here, because in order to plug it in here, what do I need? I need centimeter cube. That's my density. They give me the unit. I am bound to those units. So I need to convert inches to centimeter. Hey, look at over there. What is that? I can do that. I know how to do that. And this was 2 sig fig, again, because, we have all these things. But the sig fig, we're going to care at the very end. But just keep that in mind. So I have 48 inches cubed. Now, I don't want inches. Where does it go? It's going to go down here. What I want in centimeter. I even gave you this to make it easy for you. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeter. The problem is I'm not trying to cancel out inches. I'm trying to cancel out inches cube because I want centimeter cube. So hopefully everyone is yelling at me right now. What do I do? Cube the whole thing. Because then centimeter gets cubed, every number gets cubed, and inches get cubed. So then if that happens, then I can easily cancel out the inches cube, and what I end up with centimeter cube. Now if I do that, I get 786.579072 centimeters cubed. Do not round until the end, right? Do not round until the end, because if you keep rounding now, your final answer is going to be really, really messed up. It's going to be a little bit short. But keep in mind, what is my sig fig? What is my limitation? 2 sig fig. at the end, my final answer should have 2 sig fig. But I'm not going to round until the very end, because if you keep rounding now, if you keep rounding, then your final answer is going to be off, right? Okay. So, density was mass per volume. Okay. I have the density. Now I have the volume in the correct unit. I'm going to come back here again because I have more room. So, density was mass over volume. Do you agree? Okay. And keep in mind, the unit has to be gram per centimeter cube. What is my density? My density is 19.3 gram per centimeter cube. That sounds good. The mass, I don't know. That's my X. And the volume, we just figured out, it was 786.579072. Okay. Now, this is math, algebra. This is cross multiplication. Right? And the mass over here, let me see. This one is my X because I don't have the mass. Okay. This is cross multiplication. So to get X, what would you do? Is 19.3 times this number. So for X, what I end up getting is 15180.9761. Can you tell me what's the unit? Remember, over here, the unit that I'm bound to is gram per centimeter cube. Density was that. The volume is centimeter cube. So the X that I get, what's the unit? The unit is grams. Here's the problem. Look at the question. What do they want the unit in? They want it in kilograms. This is why I say I love this question. It has a little bit of everything in it. So what do I need to do? I need to convert grams to kilograms. Okay, we know how to convert. So I have 15180.9761 grams. I don't want grams. Where does it go? Down here. I want kilograms. I'm doing conversion between the metric system. So you have the chart in front of you. Kilograms versus grams. Which one is a larger unit? Kilograms. I'm going to put a 1 next to it. 1 kilograms is 1,000 grams. Again, you have the metric conversion next to you. Okay. So now I'm back to normal. So here was cross multiplication, but this is just parentheses. Multiply everything by 2 divided by the bottom. Multiply by 2 divided by the bottom. Now, before I tell you what the final answer is in kilograms, tell me, now for the final answer, I can figure out, I need to do the sig fig. My entire problem is limited to how many sig fig? My entire problem is limited to 2 sig fig. So my final answer should only have 2 sig fig. My final answer is 15 kilograms. Hard problem, but it's good to do the hard problem to get you guys ready. All right, beautiful. So we've done unit conversion. We've done between the metric system. You have a chart that you go from metric to metric, okay? And you know how to do between the metric and the US system, or between the US system and those. This is a chart over here. I will give that to you. You know significant figures. You know density, and you know how to do practice problems right now. We've done a lot. All right, nice job. The next chapter is actually going to be a little more fun. So we're done with measurement. We're going to get more into the chemistry stuff with the periodic table. I will talk to you guys next time.